to reveal a deeper truth about men and women. The number one thing that women want, the age-old question, what do women want? The tool I'm going to use, kind of the model, is what's called the Gottman Sound Relationship House model. Basically what the Gottmans did is they took thousands of marriages, they studied them, and based on that they figured out what all the components of a relationship are. And the way the Gottman Relationship House works is everything moves from the most foundational things in the marriage up to the higher level things in the marriage, and I'll run through it pretty systematically. Really, for the sake of time and cost, I don't usually use that myself, but instead what I do is I run through the relationship house with couples and maybe a few other questions, and usually we're able to get a pretty good feel for what's going on in the marriage. So with no further ado, here is the Gottman Sound Relationship House model. By the way, it can be applied to any relationship. So it can be applied to your relationship with God, it can be applied to a relationship with a friend, and of course here we're going to apply it to marriages. So we're moving from the most foundational elements of the marriage to the higher level elements of the marriage. So the first place we begin is with what we call the wall of trust. And I'll describe everything. So if you're not seeing it visually, you still ought to be able to hopefully picture it in your mind. Trust is the most foundational thing in a relationship. You can't have a relationship without trust. And different things impact trust. For example, obviously, if someone has had an affair or maybe something with pornography, which understandably can be, experienced as an affair. And also emotional affairs, it doesn't need to just be physical, but it can be emotional. Of course, that's going to hit trust. But trust is a very broad-reaching category. So in fact, other areas where trust is an issue is trusting that the other person will do what they say they're going to do in the marriage. Trusting that a lot of the time women don't feel like they can trust their husbands by sharing negative things. They feel like they can't trust their husbands in sharing emotions that they'll respond well. So those are in fact trust issues. So trust is a very broad-reaching category in the marriage. The other wall of the Gottman Sound Relationship House is the wall of commitment. Also impossible to have a relationship without commitment.